It is the transformation of the requirement and its phase and the inclusivity for the regulatory and how to the defining association, which is the gradual transformation and its requirement for the phenomena of the structural and its resource efficiency, which is the finding of the core and its influential association and its structural for the regulatory and transaction of the society. We have just tried to the associations of different coordinating and its influential politicals and its economically procedures of the deficiency, which is the transactions of the society and its recommendations of the prosperity and its structural for their reforms and its policy executions. We have just tried to influence the structural and its resources about the fundamental natures and its convenience part of the approach. We have just tried to associations and its conservative of the society and its role and its regulatory advantage for their resource efficiency and its mandatory for their amusement of the society, how to the different cooperative advantage and its social and its economically procedures. We are just try to influence the association and its structural for their regulatory and its transaction of the socially and its economically procedures for their efficiency. It is the balance for the requirement and its transformation of the supply chain and its working for their capacity and its transaction of the society. We have just tried to influence the association and its structural for their resource efficiency, which is the gesture of the society and its requirement and its phase for their transformation, how to the different navigation and it's all about their phenomena of the structural and its resources, which have different natural and its artificials, the renewable resources and its circular economy transformation, the the growth and its structural for the requirement and its phase efficiency procedures which follow and its defining for their transformations requirement and its phase for their absolute majority, which is the thing which is the thinking about the association and its different regardless and its prospectus for their ideologically, which is finding and its prospectus for their resource efficiency. We have just tried to influence for their structural and its resources about their conservative mindset and its procedures for their regulatory and its advantage, procedures about their regulatory and transaction of the socially and its economically procedures for their efficiency and transaction. We have just tried to influence the association and its structural for their resource and its economically deterministic and its part of the approach, which is the conservative of the society, and how to the different regulatory and transition for their all absolute way of the majority and thinking about the different navigation and it's all about their phenomena of the structurals. It is the phenomena of the structural and its resources say about the structural and its growth, the finding and its defining and its defining for their different regardless and its prospectus for their ideologically. It is the defining and its association for their different regardless and its a prospectus for their ideologically, which is the different and it's all about their phenomena and its structural for their resource and its gracefully responsibility. We have just tried to influential part of the approach and its navigation of the society, the core values and its absolute way of the majority and thinking about their regulatory and transaction for their different resource and its efficiency for their transformation and its challenges, which is the gradually and transformation, the gradually transformation and its resources about their different fundamentals and its nature of the society. We have just tried to the navigation and it's all about their phenomena of the structural and its resources about different ideologically and its finding for their gracefully transformation and it's all about their gracefully responsibility. It is the fundamental nature of the socialization and its gracefully responsibility, which is hidden of the transformation and it's all about their growth, and it's a absolute way of the majority and thinking about their regulatory and transition of the socialization, which is the gracefully transformation. We have just tried to influence the association and its structural for their growth and its orientation of the socially and its it is the it is the socially it is the socially and its it is the socially and its economically procedures, which is the efficiency, the challenges for their navigation of the society and its subsistence advantage and its cooperative for their socially and its economically procedures. How do the different growth and its challenges for their efficiency. ऐसा लग रहा है कि इस माइक में थोड़ा सा क्या बोलते हैं घिसट घिसट आवाज़ आ रहा है. The navigation and it's all about their phenomena of the structural and it's growing for their influential part of the approach, and it's a slightly advantage for their resources. We have the prospectus for their ideologically and it's a growth for their orientation, which is the navigation of the socially and its accountability for their fundamental natures and its challenges for their growth efficiency, which is the navigation and its challenges for their defining and its association, the different part of the approach and its achievements about their subsistence ideologically, which is the conservative of the society and its core values and systematic way of the approach efficiency, which is the lateral and its graceful transition of the socially and its economically procedures. It is the fundamental natures and it's all about their different coordination coordination and its efficiency for their challenges, which is the defining and its association for their different regardless, and its a prospectus for their ideologically, which is the defining and its association, which is the navigation of the socially and its accountability for their fundamental natures and its societal part of the approach. We have just tried to innovate in the thinking about their structural and its resources about different growth and its orientation for their socially and its economically procedures. It is the fundamental nature of the society and its growth efficiency, which is the fundamental natures and it's all about their growing and its influential part of the approach, which is the slightly advantage and its resources about different socialization and its growth efficiency. We have just tried to influence the structural and its navigation, which is the socially and its economically procedures for their transformations, and it's a challenges for their efficiency and it's a deterministic and it's part of the approach, which is the कभी कभी मन नहीं करता है यार काम करने का, कभी मन नहीं करता है काम करने का ऐसा. It is the challenges for their defining and its associations, which is the requirement and its phase efficiency. We have just tried to influential in its structural for their resources and its growth for the orientation and its challenges for their effective part of the approach, which is the socialization and its economically and its technologically transformations, which is the fundamental natures and its convenience part of the approach, the total discriminations and the association, which is the different absolute way of the majority thinking about the structural and its resource efficiency. It is the fundamental natures and its convenience part of the approach, which is the delighted structural and its resources about their different growth and its structural for their resources, which is the different challenges for their growing and its influential association for the different requirement and its phase efficiency. It is the fundamental natures and its RA. It is the challenges for their gradual responsibility, which is the defining and its association for their challenges and its growth efficiency, which is the navigation of the society and its convenience part of the approach. We have just a socialization and its gradually responsibility, It is the fundamental natures and its convenience part of the approach, which is the sustainable approach, and its association for their challenges, which is the navigation of the supplementary and its challenges for their growth efficiency. Fundamental nature of the society and its challenges for their growing. लगता है कि